Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and welcome back to the 26th episode in our series of Treasures from the Cave. I'd like to begin, as usual, by praising Allah the Almighty alone and sending the best peace and blessings upon His most beloved Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Brothers and sisters, today, inshallah, we're going to tackle the fourth major story of Surah Al-Kahf, the story of Dhul Qarnayn, the king who had the dominion all over the world during his time, the east and the west, the king who subjugated all the kings and the rulers of the entire earth. And this story, which we'll discuss, the history of Dhul Qarnayn, is covered in the following ayat from number 83 through ayah number 99, towards the end of Surah Al-Kahf. As you know, that Surah Al-Kahf consists of 110 verses. And basically, this story will answer one of the three questions which the Jews presented to the Prophet ﷺ through some of the Meccan chieftains in order to verify his authenticity. They said, ask him about three questions. If he answers the questions, then he's a true messenger. But if he fails to answer them, then he's a liar. Deal with him as you like. We learned that one of the questions answer was delivered in Surah Al-Isra, number 85, about Ar-Ruh. And in Surah Al-Kahf, the first story was the story of the sleepers of the cave. That's an answer to another question. And the third question is answered in the story of Dhul Qarnayn. And that's why Allah the Almighty says in ayah number 83 of Surah Al-Kahf, وَيَسْأَلُونَكَ عَنْ ذِي الْقَرْنَيْنِ. They are asking you, whom? يَسْأَلُونَكَ, the pronoun of you. They are asking you about ذِي الْقَرْنَيْنِ. They are asking you, O Muhammad, peace be upon him. Who is asking you? The Jews or the Meccan chieftains? Or whoever is asking you, because the questions were presented initially by Ahlul Kitab, the scholars of the people of the book, the Jewish rabbis. They're asking you about Dhil Qarnayn. In the Arabic language, Zu or the is depending on its position in the sentence. So if it is a subject, it will be Dhul Qarnayn. And if it is a direct object, it will be ذا. قالوا يا ذا القرنين, as it will come right now, inshallah. And if it is preceded with a preposition, then it will be the. This is just for the information, because that you will note that it is pronounced as ذي القرنين, then ذو القرنين, then ذا القرنين. It is simply the same, the title of that king. Now, وَيَسْأَلُونَكَ عَنْ ذِي الْقَرْنَيْنِ. They are asking you, O Muhammad, about the story of ذِي الْقَرْنَيْنِ. قُلْ سَأَتْلُو عَلَيْكُمْ مِنْهُ ذِكْرًا. I'm going to narrate to you some of his mention or some of his story. Not the entire thing, but whatever Allah the Almighty will let me know about him, I'm going to share with you. And that will be discussed from the ayat 83 through ayah number 99 of Surah Al-Kahf. First of all, about his dominion, his power, and how much strength Allah has given him. What are the means of power that Allah the Almighty provided him with? Allah the Almighty says, Inna, and Inna here is the royal we. Allah the Almighty says in ayah number 84, إِنَّا مَكَّنَّا لَهُ فِي الْأَرْضِ وَآتَيْنَاهُ مِنْ كُلِّ شَيْءٍ سَبَبًا. Indeed, we established him on earth, and we gave him of all kinds of means, weaponry, power, wealth, strength, armies, horses, everything that made him superior to the rest of the kings of the world, and enable him to subjugate all the kings, and enable him to rule both the east and the west and what is in between. And by the way, that's why he was given this kunya. So his name is unknown. but his kunya is known. His kunya or his title or his nickname is Dhul Qarnayn because of being in control of both the east and the west. The two horns, the east and the west. This is one view. Some of the interpreters of the Quran and the historians said that because he used to have braids which look like two horns. But Allah knows best that the first view is closer to the truth and more right, because he was given power over both the east and the west and what is in between. Some people, and you will find that, maybe taken from the books of the Israelites, claiming that Dhul Qarnayn is the king who is known as the Macedonian Alexander the Greek. And this opinion should be dismissed. They say Al-Iskandar Al-Akbar Al-Maqduni. This opinion should be dismissed. Why should it be dismissed? Because this person was a non-believer, and he was a student of a great, Greek philosopher. But they were non-believers. But Dhul Qarnayn was a just ruler whom Allah the Almighty was pleased with, and he said, إِنَّا مَكَّنَّا لَهُ فِي الْأَرْضِ وَآتَيْنَاهُ مِنْ كُلِّ شَيْءٍ سَبَبًا. We indeed established him on earth. We've given him the means of everything: wealth, strength, horses, knowledge, you name it. Then he says in the following ayah, فَأَتْبَعَ سَبَبًا. So he pursued a certain course. He followed a way. He did not just enjoy the means of strength, wealth, and power that Allah the Almighty blessed him with to enjoy his life, to sit on his throne and do nothing. No, he was very active, very proactive. He traveled excessively on earth, as the following ayat are going to explain to us. He covered the whole world. He went all the way to the farthest point, to where the sun set. Then he went all the way in the opposite direction, the farthest point that a human being can reach, in the direction of sunrise. Then he traveled all the way up north in between. And each journey has amazing observations that Allah the Almighty is going to narrate upon us in these ayat. فَأَتْبَعَ سَبَبًا. So when he was given the means of everything by the leave of Allah, or he was given all kind of means of power and strength, he utilized that. And he started traveling excessively. He traveled. In ayah number 86, Allah the Almighty says, حتى إذا بلغ مغرب الشمس وجدها تغرب في عين حمئة ووجد عندها قوما قلنا يا ذا القرنين إما أن تعذب وإما أن تتخذ فيهم حسنا. This ayah says that فَأَتْبَعَ سَبَبًا. So he pursued a way and he followed a route and he traveled. In this time he traveled in the direction of the west, in the direction of the sunset, until when he reached the setting of the sun. He found it setting in a murky spring. Now again, because some of the interpreters of the Quran may rely on the Israelites and some informations from the ancient books, we have to verify that. First of all, we have to understand that the sun is more than 1,000,000 times bigger than the earth. It's so huge, So the earth is like a little dot compared to the sun. So it is not possible that the sun sets anywhere in the earth, because the sun is bigger than the earth. But whenever we are walking on the seashore at sunset, what do you see? Because of the spheric nature of the earth, you see the sunset as if it is sitting inside the water, then gradually disappearing in the ocean or in the sea, right? That even you say it without realizing that the sun sitting in the water. This is how the Quran expressed about it. وَجَدَهَا تَغْرُبُ فِي عَيْنٍ حَمِئَةٍ. He found the sun as if it was sitting in a murky spring, and that will be further explained, inshallah, after we take a short break. Please stay tuned.
Al-Aziz, the Almighty. Al-Wadud, the All-Loving. At-Tawwab, the Acceptor of your return. Al-Razzaq, the Provider. Al-Raqib, the All-Watchful. وَلِلَّهِ الْأَسْمَاءُ الْحُسْنَى. To Allah belongs the beautiful names. فَادْعُوهُ بِهَا. So call Him upon them. To understand more of Allah's beautiful names, join me, your brother Majid Mahmood, on my new series about understanding Allah's beautiful names on Peace TV.
الله لا إله إلا هو له الأسماء الحسنى.
Don't miss the chance to comprehend the seamless explanation of Allah's beautiful names in Understanding Allah's Beautiful Names. Every Sunday at 7 p.m. and repeat telecast at 12 p.m. Saudi Arabia on Peace TV.
Where truth is hidden, misleading quotations create confusion. Where truth is hidden, lack of knowledge and wisdom cause upheaval and commotion. Where truth is hidden, manipulated scriptures and twisted facts emerge. This very hidden truth creates false propaganda, mayhem, chaos, disorder, and turmoil in our lives and the world order. But is there anyone with courage and wisdom? What is the truth, and who has the courage to expose it? Because it's your right to know the truth.
Watch Truth Prevail and Lies Perish in Truth Exposed by Dr. Zakir Naik, next on Peace TV.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and welcome back. We were talking before the break about the scene of the sunset. If you're walking or standing in front of the sea, then you think that the sun is setting or disappearing within the water, while in fact, and according to simple calculation, that the diameter of our planet Earth is approximately 12,765 kilometers. Let's say that 12,700 kilometers, while the diameter of the sun is 1,392,000 kilometers. There is no comparison. The Earth is like a drop in an ocean compared to the sun. So what happens is, because of the spheric nature of the Earth, if you're standing in front of the sea, if you're standing in front of the ocean, or a lake, wide open area full of water, you see the sun as if it is sitting in this water. But in fact, it is not. Okay? That is the meaning of وَجَدَهَا تَغْرُبُ فِي عَيْنٍ حَمِئَةٍ. He found it sitting in this water. Ayn refers to a water spring or a water which is gushing forth in abundance, or any abundant water. Basically, some of the commentators of the Quran and the interpreters refer to the Atlantic Ocean, which is the farthest point in the direction of the sunset. Also, the term that Allah the Almighty used, which is hami'atin. Hami'atin, which means murky, which means like polluted, opaque, but this is a clean water, isn't it? Yes. But due to the fact that when the sun is setting and it reflects its sun rays against the water looks dark. It looks dark. Even if you're flying, and during this time, because of the sun rays falling on the water looks opaque. So it looks as aynin hami'atin, as if it is muddy, murky spring. And how do we know that the word hami'atin means muddy? Because there is another ayah in which Allah the Almighty stated that the insan was created min hama'in masnoon, which is the muddy poetry. So it is murky because of the sedimentation, and it looks like opaque, it looks like muddy because of the reflection of the sun rays against the surface of the water. So this is the area which he reached, the farthest point that any human being could reach in the direction of the sunset. Then he found a people. وَجَدَ عِنْدَهَا قَوْمًا قُلْنَا, Allah the Almighty said, we said, by the means of inspiring Dhul Qarnayn. And here Dhul Qarnayn was not a prophet nor a messenger, similar to Al-Khadr. But Allah the Almighty inspired him to do what? إِمَّا أَن تُعَذِّبَ وَإِمَّا أَن تَتَّخِذَ فِيهِمْ حُسْنًا. Those people were non-believers. So you have the choice either to punish them, either to kill them, men, to capture the women and the children and to take them as captives. وَإِمَّا أَن تَتَّخِذَ فِيهِمْ حُسْنًا, or you deal with them kindly. It's your choice. Allah trusted his judgment because Allah the Almighty made him just. The following ayah says, in fact, he decided to follow the second option. قال أما من ظلم فسوف نعذبه ثم يرد إلى ربه فيعذبه عذابا نكرا. That's in ayah number 87. As for him who does wrong, as for him who chooses to disbelieve in Allah, as for him who insists on associating others with Allah in worship, we will penalize him. So the punishment will be incurred only on those who disbelieve. Then, this is not it. Then whenever he will return to Allah, he will be punished with an unheard of torment. فَيُعَذِّبُهُ عَذَابًا نُكْرًا. So he did not generalize the punishment, rather he decided that he would approach them with da'wah first, and for him who would choose to disbelieve and choose to do wrong, that he said, I'm going to penalize him. Then in addition to the awaiting punishment, which is unheard of, that Allah the Almighty will punish him with. فَيُعَذِّبُهُ عَذَابًا نُكْرًا. وَأَمَّا مَنْ آمَنَ وَعَمِلَ صَالِحًا فَلَهُ جَزَاءً الْحُسْنَى وَسَنَقُولُ لَهُ مِنْ أَمْرِنَا يُسْرًا. Ayah number 88. And as for him who believes and does good righteous deeds, فَلَهُ جَزَاءً الْحُسْنَى, he will have the finest reward in this life and in the hereafter. And we will speak to him of our command with ease. What is the meaning of وَسَنَقُولُ لَهُ مِنْ أَمْرِنَا يُسْرًا? The Prophet ﷺ says, إِنَّ الدِّينَ يُسْرًا. The religion is easy. Allah the Almighty does not impose on the believers anything beyond their capacity. لا يكلف الله نفسا إلا وسعها. Allah does not ask anyone to do anything more than what they can afford. And if you look into all the acts of worship, they are very affordable to an average person. For us as Muslims, non-Muslims look at our prayers and say they think that's too much, that you have to pray 5 times a day. How many times do you eat every day? How many times you answer the call of nature every day? How many times you drink? Because you say this is a life necessity. You are more in need to communicate with your Lord than your need for eating, drinking, and doing anything else. This is for your own spiritual benefit, for your own self. This is not to benefit Allah. Do not look into the ibadah as because I'm a servant, I have to do it. This is also to benefit you. Whenever you are connected with your Lord, you benefit from that. You benefit from your prayers. You benefit from your fasting. You benefit from every act of worship. And how much time does it take from you to pray 5 times a day? Not even half hour. All the 5 prayers. But they are scattered morning, evening, bil-ashiyyi wal-ibkar, and in between. Why? So that the person would remain protected by his Lord, will remain connected to his Lord. So he said, وَسَنَقُولُ لَهُ مِنْ أَمْرِنَا يُسْرًا. We're going to ask him to do easy things, the easy acts of worship. In the beginning of the ayah, he said, وَأَمَّا مَنْ آمَنَ وَعَمِلَ صَالِحًا. And we did speak about this now for the 3rd time in Surah Al-Kahf. There is not a single word that is promised by Allah in the Quran or in the Sunnah of His Prophet or His prophets for mere belief without following the belief with doing the good deeds. وَأَمَّا مَنْ آمَنَ وَعَمِلَ صَالِحًا. Believe and must do good deeds. A person who says, I believe in Allah, he is not complying with any of His commands, is a liar. A person who says, I'm a very strong believer, but he doesn't pray, he's a liar. He is not a believer. He is not even a Muslim. A person who neglects his duties to Allah and is not fulfilling what Allah has ordered him to do, even if he says day and night, I'm a believer, he is not a believer. The word is promised for belief and doing good, righteous deeds. So this is as far as his experience with regards to traveling to the farthest point where the sun sets. Then the following ayah, ayah number 89, says, ثُمَّ أَتْبَعَ سَبَبًا. Then he took a course. He traveled and he pursued another way. This time in the opposite direction. Because the following ayah, ayah number 90, tells us where did he go? Where did he end up? And what did he observe in the new station? He said, حَتَّى إِذَا بَلَغَ مَطْلِعَ الشَّمْسِ وَجَدَهَا تَطْلُعُ عَلَى قَوْمٍ لَمْ نَجْعَلْ لَهُم مِّن دُونِهَا سِتْرًا. Until he reached the rising of the sun. Again, when we say the rising of the sun, the farthest point of the earth where he could see the sun while it is rising. Not that the sun rises from this place, because we stated that the earth is like a little dot compared to the sun. So when he reached the farthest point in the direction of sunrise, he found it rising on a people for whom we had provided no shelter from it. This earth was plain. Those people did not have houses. There was no mountains nor caves. The earth that they lived on did not produce any plants or vegetations. They could not even hide or take shelter from the excessive heat of the sun. So what did they used to do? They lived on fishing. They survived on fishing. They did not have clothes to wear. They were very, very subordinary people, backwarded. That's why he said also that those people, لَمْ نَجْعَلْ لَهُم مِّن دُونِهَا سِتْرًا. They did not have any shelter whatsoever. The interpreters of the Quran said that when the sun rises, they used to hide in tunnels. So they dug tunnels under the ground so that they could hide from the excessive heat of the sun until it passes its zenith. Then when it cools off a little bit, they would go out to fish and work and so on. كذلك وقد أحطنا بما لديه خبرا. And so it was, we had a full knowledge of what he had. We were fully aware of his journeys to the east or to the west, and Allah the Almighty inspired him to take these journeys. أحطنا بما لديه خبرا, because Allah the Almighty stated already, He knows what is manifest and what is hidden. Then ثم أتبع سببا, in ayah number 92, he took another course. And inshallah, in the next episode, we'll get to speak about his third journey up north between the east and the west. But now, what did we benefit from, his visit to the point of sunrise? To know that Allah the Almighty have blessed us with countless blessings, that we have homes, we have vehicles, we have schools, we have hospitals, we wear nice clothes, while there are people who have been deprived from all of that. These blessings are all from Allah the Almighty, and we should give thanks to Allah the Almighty for His countless blessings. Brothers and sisters, until next time, I leave you in the care of Allah. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.